Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Heine, the Equine Extension Specialist for Oklahoma State University. And today we're actually just going to break down the difference between what a snaffle bit is and a curb bit because they're often very confused in horse owners. When we're talking about a snaffle bit, it is something that always works via direct rein pressure. So essentially, the reins are going to be attached to the rings that are attached to our bridle's mouthpiece or our bit's mouthpiece. It does not actually matter if we have a joint in the middle or not, although we tend to think about these traditionally as a snaffle bit always having this jointed mouthpiece. But the difference, again, between a snaffle and a curb bridle is that this bridle is going to work via direct pressure, me just pulling on that rein, and there's no leverage involved. Now we're going to contrast that with something that people often misidentify as a snaffle bit. So this bridle here is, yes, we have a broken mouthpiece, just like we did on our snaffle bit, but you can see here we actually have shanks. And so the shanks are what actually provides the leverage or increases the amount of signal this horse is getting when the rider pulls on the reins. So what makes a curb bridle a curb bridle? Essentially, we've got some sort of a longer piece of metal that the reins are attached separately from this point right here at the mouthpiece. So this is essentially a very simple curb bridle. So generally we think about a curb bridle ridden on a horse that's a little bit more advanced in their training. When they're young, just getting started, we always put them in essentially hackamores or snaffle bits that we're just using direct rein pressure. This curb bridle is a little bit more intense because the horse is going to feel this through different parts of their face, essentially. So a curb bridle, another really essential feature is that there's always a curb chain or a curb strap. Now often we'll see that people might even put this together wrong and attach their curb strap to where the bit piece is on this bridle. Yes, there's a ring here, but that is not where the curb strap actually goes. And we can actually affect how much severity or how quickly the horse feels that bit pressure by even adjusting our curb strap. So we can do quite a bit to vary how severe a bit is by changing our curb strap, making it wider, making it tighter, changing the length of the curb bridle, changing the length of the shanks, and then having different mouthpieces that you traditionally think of as more solid mouthpiece, ported bits, etc. So all of these will actually affect what that horse is feeling when you're pulling on those reins. Here's actually another example of a really simple curb bridle. If we compare it to the last one I had, this one is even less severe because we have a very curved mouthpiece, so it fits over the horse's tongue really easily, and it has really pretty short shanks that are also swept back. So all of these little modifications can make a bit more or less severe. So how do you know what bit to actually choose? You want to use one that makes your horse comfortable. So if a horse is really fussing or fighting with the bridle, gaping their mouth, that's probably a sign that either it might be too much for that horse, it may not actually fit in their mouth, and you may have to adjust the bridle itself or choose a different bit for the horse. We always want to use essentially the least amount of bridle that we need, otherwise we get dull horses and often unhappy horses. So we don't ever just reach for a stronger bit. If something's going wrong, you usually want to think about, is there any underlying issues the horse has, or certainly look at your training before just advancing up in bit severity.